right. Okay, we'll go ahead. It's 1 o'clock. We'll call the meeting to order. Start with the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pastor, if you would.
Yes. Lord, we just give you thanks that we live in a nation that the people have a voice in how they're governed. And we just ask your blessing on the county commissioners here and ask your wisdom for them, your impart your wisdom and grace to them as they make the decisions to help people in our community. In Jesus' name,
Amen. All right, thank you, Pastor Stair. Prayer. First Things County personnel or public comment. You're up. Come on in.
I just wanted to update you guys. Update you guys on our project to plant a tree on the county courthouse square. And I did talk to Dave Sheets. By the way, is he related to that Brad Sheets that passed away? Barry, I'm sorry, yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I didn't ask him, but anyway, he was in agreement that we could use another tree on the south side. I know when we have the Maple Leaf Festival, that south side doesn't get much shade. And because Ministerial Alliance had a booth on the south side one time and it was pretty warm.
Okay.
So he's got a spot over there on the south side where we're gonna be able to plant a tree. I talked to Grimm's Nursery, and he suggested the American London Centennial. American London Centennial, I think it's a sycamore.
It is, it's a London plane.
London plane, okay. Anyway, Lions Club is planning on planting the tree on April 23rd. That's a Thursday at 5:30 in the evening. It's hard to get members of the Lions Club out during the day. So yeah, 5:30 on April 23rd. That's a Thursday. So just want to let you know.
So the tree get pretty big, okay?
It's gonna be a pretty tall tree, yes. It'll provide some shade, hopefully. Probably not for a few years because it's only 8 to 9 foot tall right now.
The bigger guys plant them.
Yeah, but it's a starting point. So,
It should grow at about a rate of about 1.5 feet a year.
okay,
Yeah.
well, it'll take a few years then for it to provide any shade.
Okay, well, we talked about that. I was going back through my meeting
Yep.
minutes from the 31st of March.
And you approved it contingent upon
Okay.
the janitor
Okay, so
approving it.
do we need to make another motion to lock it in? Let's just, you told us what you're gonna do. We'll just make it in the form of a motion.
Okay,
So we make it official. So I would go ahead and make a motion that we approve the Lions Club planting a American
yeah, American London,
Centennial.
It's a London plane tree.
London plane tree, okay,
Okay, on the south side of the courthouse lawn.
yes.
Is there a second?
I will second that motion.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? If none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Really appreciate it.
All right. How do you know so much about trees?
I love trees. I plant them all the time.
I didn't know that. All right.
Planted a bunch of London planes.
It's,
London plane. Why?
It's a sycamore. It's actually a tree that came from London and they're very hardy and they do really well with pollution and all that stuff. So, and they last 150 years at least, actually more. And they grow it. Just one of the 3 styles of trees I planted on the farm.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, is there any other county personnel or public comment at this time? And if there's none, if we're still in session, you have something to say, we will make time for you.
First item on the agenda is minutes from the 6th of April. Are there any additions, corrections, or comments to the minutes as presented?
I didn't have any comments on the minutes.
Okay. Yeah.
Was okay.
All right, is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any more discussion? Not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, minutes are approved. Perfect. Item number 2 is accounts payable from the 13th.
I actually had a couple questions, but I already got them answered. I talked to Road Bridge guys.
Very good.
Just when you check it with the upside down or something like that, change around.
Upside down check.
Sure. Yeah, I didn't bring my notes, I forget, it's like 69 or something. Yeah. Anyway, she'll figure it out.
All right, any other questions? Okay, I didn't have any. So is there a motion to approve accounts payable April 13th?
Really put it in accounts payable, right, for 13.
All right, is there a second?
Second it.
Moved and seconded. Any more discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
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 All right.
Okay, that's passed. Item number 3, the occupational license. Any questions or comments on this?
Again, it's just a yearly thing we do, correct? Yep, so. I didn't have any comment on it, but it's reoccurring and
Okay, well, I would make a motion then that we pass occupational license 26-003 for Robert's Barbecue and Country Cat. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye, we did it together. Motion carried. Sorry. All right. Item number 4 is property use form. This is for the extension. Right? Okay, he had sent us some of these within the last couple of weeks, so he's busy. I would make a motion to approve the internal property use forms for extension office, and they're both for the extension office.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, that's passed. Now we're looking at tax change orders. No. Okay. Mhm.
I mean, on his tax change orders, we understand why they're coming in. Most of the time he has a description, so that's what we're looking at. I mean, these are pretty basic.
Mhm.
And so I looked at them yesterday and today, and
Taxes are on a lot of people's
taxes are
mind.
on a lot of people's
Yeah.
minds, so.
Yeah, the tax sale, a lot of people get the Horton paper, quite a bit of interest in that.
Sure.
And a lot of questions about the process. I tell people, be sure you read the first paragraph. So you know what you're liable for, and what
Correct.
you're not, and then to register in person to bid, so you can actually be a potential buyer. Are some questions about how some bills get so big. I did my best to answer them without looking at them individually. You know, some have assessments like we had some city work done or whatever, and then maybe building torn down, but it doesn't really say that in the paper.
Right.
So.
I actually received 2 calls based off of some properties, and they're probably the same ones that you get, but they will see a tax bill of $40,000 or $33,000, and that seems like, how could it ever get to be that much? But those are demolition costs that the city of Horton paid for.
Yeah.
And then assessed. And unfortunately, when they sell a tax sale like this, they don't recoup those kind of dollars. But I had 2 different people call and ask about that. Then, the other thing that I know that we've talked a little bit about, and I've been trying to get that information out, that In the past, there have been people that had properties that they didn't pay taxes on. They ended up buying properties at the tax sale.
Yes.
And so this year, what we're doing different, as you guys know, is if you have unpaid taxes and you come to register, you can't register.
Yeah.
So that'll
That's very
prevent,
smart.
prevent that from happening. And I hope that message gets out to people.
So Nikki, this is for you. What Bill said during the minutes, accounts payable, excuse me, during accounts payable, check number 30. Yeah, you don't miss anything. Good, good
I do
job.
those things.
Well, good catch, though. It's just an upside down check. It's no big deal. Looks like the paper was just wrong. So, okay. Yeah, the tax sale, a lot of interest. That is very intelligent. And has it always been that way where,
No,
well, the bidding process where you can't bid if you're in
Yeah.
arrears on your taxes, that only makes sense. That's good. That's good. All right.
that's one of the things with Glenda Osterman, Brenda had talked about. Is there's various things the counties can do to try to stop some of the bad behavior. And obviously, if you have somebody that hasn't paid their taxes on one property, you're hoping that they're not buying more properties.
Yeah, I totally agree. So Mr. Parker's here.
Yes,
We've got, first thing on our agenda, really hard stop is a 1:30 executive session. So
sure.
are you set up to give your county council updates?
Oh, yeah, and I've got a number of, so.
Okay.
I met with Tammy. And we had information. Tammy was able to meet with the former farmer. Okay. Of the property. She was able to get a hold of now the current property because Commissioner Bill set this all up. So thank you for making contact.
Good for you.
No, you did. You did the legwork.
Pretty simple.
Well, but you gotta go. And so after that happened, she was able to make contact with the current farmer. And they've sent our easement information off to the son, who's supposedly a doctor. That does all the paperwork for the stuff. So that is in the process. So she's gonna get with me and let me know. Whether or not that, where that's at in the process, okay? Then, next week we should have, so we don't need to do anything right now, so thank you.
You're welcome.
We have a road and bridge interview at 2:00. We talked a little bit about, that person's prior experience in emergency management services. I reviewed the, draft resolutions. Road and bridge. Well, after that person at 2:00, there's another person that's going to come. Okay. Yeah, no, I understand. It's gonna be here at 2:00. Okay, and that person's there for the consideration of the commission.
Austin, back up.
Yes.
So is this the guy coming for emergency management?
Yes,
Okay, so I read these clerk's notes. He said, so we've got an executive session with our road and bridge, one of the foremans at 2.
Mhm.
So can you think we got 15, 20 minutes or so leeway with?
so, yeah, he's fine,
Okay,
he's fine. That doesn't
all
matter.
right.
Okay, and then, we had, I've looked up, there's I don't have a full presentation yet, but I'll come back to it, but, closer to 1:30. There's a state statute that, details the way that we would do disposition of vehicles. And Commissioner Richard sent it over to me and said, could you give us a summary of the steps necessary to dispose of property that's been impounded?
Mhm.
Okay, last time we did it, I think was 2012. That's what Commissioner Richard was saying, and so this is the way to clean things up, because that lot needs to be cleaned up.
Okay.
I also reached out to Kevin Hill, and just asked, because he was the one that did it last, and I just said, is there any pitfalls or anything we need to look at? Because looks like it's been a long time, and he kind of walked through the process, and he said, actually, it's not bad, and you just follow this and that, and then Austin and told him about it. He's gonna look at steps, just like what we did with the tax sale.
Okay.
There'll be, probably 5 or 6 steps that you have to do. And then it'll be a public auction, just like the tax sales for the property.
All right.
And it'll happen at the sheriff's department. The idea is, so we don't have vehicles sitting around since 2012 around the sheriff's department.
Do you know how many there are sitting there?
I do not, but the reason I brought this up when I was driving by last time, I just noticed that a lot of those vehicles have been there for years,
Yeah.
and you wonder why. Because they look pretty unsightly, number one. And when I talked to John about it, he said, yes, it's been a number of years, but I'm gonna say there's 10 vehicles over there at least. I mean, the whole side lot is filled and then the back and stuff, so it's like, let's get these things out and.
Yeah.
So,
All right, and so good job.
Working on, that'll be, I may get that done yet this meeting, see? But
When you look at the statutes, then are there time periods that have to elapse before you can?
there's certain notice and comment periods that happen. And so I'll know that, I'll have that done this meeting, but there's a couple of other things. While some of the executive sessions, I'll try to look at a little bit, as time is available. I talked with Tammy also there. She didn't think that there was anything in terms of ability to hear a couple of meetings ago, but I did mention that what we're doing in terms of calling in, because I've called in a number of times, right? Calling in, what we did over in Nemaha is we shopped out Polycom dial pad communication. It's about, the most expensive one is $399, but usually they're about $208, $215. And we can plug it in and have a conference call line. So when I'm not on Zoom, if I'm gonna call in, we could have a conference call. There's one of them that's $99, but I think the $205 one's a little bit better. But I looked on Amazon, they're pretty easy to order. So that might amplify volume, and then there's also two microphones.
Dallas, do you have any input on something like that?
Yeah,
I'd be willing to try whatever, I'm just, honestly, I'm not very comfortable. Giving
Okay.
anything money or visual.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd be willing to look, you want to need to.
I'll send you over a couple of I'll send you over like the four that I had seen, and then the one that seemed like it had the most value for the price. I'll send that to you. Let's take a look at it and see what you think. That might,
is Polycom the one that looks like a star?
yeah,
Okay.
and then,
That's the one you see whenever you go to conference rooms. That's probably the most popular one. It's a star shape.
Uh-huh.
And I thought that was the name on it, but it seems like that's what everybody uses, so.
VTech, the one that makes children's sport, actually came up with one that's got good reviews and it's a little bit less. But they both work about the same.
Uh-huh.
For our room, you can position it, the Polycom has a 20-foot radius so that there's a good mic pickup. The VTech option has two satellite mics, so you put one on one end and one over here, and then in the middle. But again, the Polycom's the gold standard. Commissioner Richards, right? That's what's in those rooms. So there's that. I've been working, it looks like either the 20th or the 28th, depending on your timing. Or the 27th, I mean, 20th or the 27th. If we're meeting on the 27th, the alternative road tech or bridge technology is probably available for a presentation. Those two dates. And so I've had a number of meetings with them over the past several weeks to understand their proposal. And I don't have all the details firmed up yet, but it looks like there's a potential where this year we could do like a phased plan to identify what would a number of bridges look like that we would self-perform to drive hopefully 30-40% savings on self-performance over a period of time. So they would probably do some initial analysis work on that, and then we figure that out. We did health insurance work. I didn't know whether there would actually be any options, and so instead of really putting anything for us to really push out or look at from cellular insurance, I wanted to see whether they had some option that, because they were working on something for Nemaha, And so they did an initial presentation. They don't have numbers that are firmed out yet. But, you know, they're a similarly sized county. Obviously, they're one county over. Similar benefits package. Where the, there's, what they did was they're in Aetna. And they have, plans with some constraints that are not far off of where we're at. Okay, they have a buy-up plan. That's, 1,500, 3,000. The 1,500 individual in network, 3,000 individual out of network. With an individual in network out of pocket, including deductible costs. 6,500, the max of the individual non-network out of pocket 15,000, some co-insurance. Right, and so what they did was they came back through and then they had some self-funded parameters. That are interesting, but again, it's basically it's not quite a fully insured plan, but they're trying to come back with something. Then they looked at a Health Easy nationwide option, which is Cigna as the backer. Okay, for a year before going back over to Aetna. They're still at 35. It's apples to apples in terms of the base 3,500, 10,000 deductible, 1,500, 3,000 deductible in network. The buy-up, individual non-network 3,000. Pretty much they came in apples to apples, but basically the option was with the self-insured kind of hybrid model. They've got 477,000 versus 627,000. So the numbers are there, but what they've been working on is negotiating out with the local hospitals, including Sabetha Community Hospital, better rates and improved care coordination. And CEOs confirmed process with that. They're working through benefits management to optimize the drug pricing. And so they're looking at a Cigna rollout, which is a national network, no wrap networks needed. Excellent rate, includes Kansas, Kansas City, and Nebraska. They're working with Nemaha Valley Community Health. They're going to coordinate this. It's not ideal for them, but they're working through it. So long story short, they have a self-funded insurance option, which is Health Easy that they're exploring, but they're working towards the same goal of a $0 deductible or lower deductible pay with local providers. So I'm sure if they're doing it there, that there's another option for them to look. They're one county over, obviously. But you put that with two other providers out of Kansas City, that gets you a group of 3 if you're going to go to market. And I thought that was at least initially the desire of the commission was to look at market this year. But it looks like there's some options. So, and the Cigna option for them, Aetna quoted at 1 point, adjusted 2027 estimate, 1.264 million. And then the Cigna Health Easy option was 1.040 million. That's before they finish. So they're looking at a potential savings of about 15%.
Those numbers are all.
They are not apples to apples. They are Nemaha County numbers. I wanted to, yeah, this is not for us. This is,
Have you ever, I mean, you've worked with other cities or maybe
Yes.
commissioners or even Nikki, have you ever heard, or have any of the counties ever tried to do something where the cities within the county that are providing insurance, for instance, we have Hiawatha right here, they provide insurance. Has anybody ever looked at doing that? Yeah, but we've never heard, we don't know that. I'm saying, is anybody else doing this? I'm just throwing that out there because it makes you wonder, you know, the cities within your county where if everybody was looking at the same type of options, is there a way to save money for everybody that way?
But aren't we a high cost group on our own?
Sure,
Who wants to-
we can be,
Yeah.
depending on, you know, just because we're not made up of 20-year-old employees.
Right.
So,
if,
so,
if So those are all options. The world changed in '08, obviously. The marketplace has changed. The pooling, there was a pooling of. This was the way that the insurance conversations when we got to Cape Camp originally and Hayworth. We didn't do it for health. Years ago, just because there were enough local market players and there were enough independent shops that they were getting good rates. But now. Health insurance has changed since '08. And so there's nothing that says that we can't do a pooling arrangement. Where we're multiple employers participating in a group. You can do it differently. If you have multiple governments or even governments and private employers that are participating in group.
And what'll happen is because somebody will be watching this and they'll say, hey, the county's trying, we're
No.
not.
No,
I'm just asking the question so what are these other counties around us doing? You know,
Would that be the state of Kansas? Would that be a similar function?
state of Kansas does it differently. They have a. I mean, the reality is that the marketplace is not what it used to be. We had players in the marketplace, in the healthcare marketplace that don't really participate anymore, and it's gone to a larger pool, larger insurers, okay? And with that comes a level of price control in terms of what that looks like.
Right.
So these are all things that we're not the only people that are thinking of, but we are on the edge, at the forward edge. Now, we have heard from Bouquet that 4 or 5 other counties that have done what Amberwell is working to do, 4 or 5 other governments throughout the state looked at how to pool this together from a local hospital perspective. So I think that's what they're trying to do. They say 4 or 5 other, I don't know personally of 4 or 5 others that have done that. But I do look down at the Cherokee County area. And sort of a hybrid example of that is they have their federally qualified healthcare center. That sees a really large swath of insurance coverage. And it's almost to the point that they have to adjust. They've had to be careful to make sure that they're seeing enough non-insured, and that's kind of functioned as a way to set a standard of, at least from what I understand down there. They have a lower cost service provision model that's trying to assist. So it's not the same as what's looking at, which is providing an insurance pool that tries to get towards a zero deductible, but down there, they're using kind of a hybrid option with their FQHC, fairly qualified healthcare center, to lower costs. At least that's my understanding, but it's been a while since I've heard, so I don't.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You said Amberwell a couple of times. Is there any update on that at all?
Not,
It's just in process. Okay.
and
and that might be one of those things that they just come back and say, there's nothing to offer. We don't know. But we met with them the one time and they said at that time it would be quite a while before they ever had something that they could talk about. So
That's fine. I just,
again, my mind just works like, you know, there's a lot of counties in Kansas. I just wonder if reaching out and just talking to them and just saying, what are you doing? What's working for you?
Yeah.
And just getting other people's opinions on. You might find out that what we're doing is the best that's out there too. So. You don't know.
so
Okay.
that's what I had. And I've got some more information on the state statute that I'll try to come back.
Okay.
Yeah,
And I think just kind of what I was looking, because Mr. Hill, when I talked to him, he basically said, look, this and that. And it sounded like there was a couple things that were like a 2-week thing that you had to advertise for 2 weeks. So I don't think it's something that's going to take months to prepare for. So.
yeah, no, I don't think so either. I'm going to give you that outline here shortly.
Okay.
all right, in our agenda here at the end, page 33, 34, and 35 are some potential resolutions that we talked to the treasurer about.
I've reviewed those, and I
Okay,
think they look great.
okay, there you go.
I think we should move to adopt as you see fit.
All right.
So what would the resolution numbers be?
finally, 2 weeks ago, I was supposed to be here in person. As you guys know, I have a 2 week on and 2 week remote. I was supposed to be here, you guys probably recall the first several months, I was here more than 2 weeks.
Thank you.
But I was supposed to be here for one out of the 4 meetings in person, but I had a car situation that
Sure.
died, so I had to go remote with that.
We're gonna have an auction. Sounds like maybe you can pick up a new one.
I may have to.
At the impound lot.
It's
All right.
fascinating thing.
It's 1:30.
Yep.
Our candidates here and what do we need? 10 minutes? Executive session for interview? Is that all right?
Do you understand how that works? So basically, we'll go in and the only people that'll be in here are you and Nikki and the counselor.
Yeah.
If you need more time, then we can get more time.
Absolutely. So I'll make a motion. We go into executive session for 10 minutes with 3 commissioners, county counselor, county clerk, and the candidate present for a solid waste interview. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? No, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carried. 10 minutes. Puts us about 1:41. Okay, well. All right, we're gonna be out of executive session here, back into regular with no binding action taken. So I appreciate you coming in and we'll talk about this. What is the timeline, gentlemen?
Soon, as soon as we can.
We'll visit with Brandon and we'll. Is that make sense? Yeah. Okay, all right, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Hi, guys. Okay, we just got a few minutes. You guys got anything you want to shoot the breeze about to fill the gap here for about 2 minutes? No, okay. Okay. All right, anybody else have anything they want to talk about?
At some point, we need to talk about, I did talk to Brandon this morning and, you know, we talked about a fuel surcharge and we looked at that with trucking. If the fuel was to stay high for so many months, we're also losing because we're paying more to have it trucked out of there, but we're not charging any more to bring it in. And, you know, I don't like raising prices on anything, but at some point, if fuel gets above a certain dollar amount, we need to take a look at what it's costing to receive the trash too.
Right.
You know,
Can you just pass that on?
sure, we could, but yeah, that'd be an option. And because again, all of a sudden they're busy. I mean, they're bringing in a lot of trash and we're paying every one of those truckloads. We're paying more right now because of the fuel surcharge. So in effect, you know, if it's a month or two, it's one thing, but if that thing was to persist for 3, 4, 5 months, where you see fuel like that, we're losing. But something we need to think
There never
about.
was much margin on the trash.
No, and that's a great thing. We're offering the county a good service for a low price. And I'm all for that. I'm just saying that when companies charge us a fuel surcharge, we should be turning around and going, okay, guys, we're getting charged this and, you know, we've got to pass some of that on because if we absorb it, he's going to get to the end of the year and his budget's not going to be there. That might be something, Nikki, that we could talk about in a workshop session.
We had the same conversation in Omaha this morning concerning recycling.
I was going back through my notes.
A little bit less detailed concerning gas fuel prices, but the fact that we need to recover costs. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
It's fine. Do the notes, so you'd come up with something on your phone about the base price. We use 350 as our base.
That was written in the contract
contract.
originally, and that's why I used that.
But the language you had on your phone, if I remember, was like 372. So,
Because it was at the current rate. It was taking it from that day.
but that was the base
Uh-huh.
in which they would set the fuel surcharge. Right. So,
Yeah.
so in effect, maybe our surcharge from the get-go is 350 an unobtainable pricing on an unrealistic base. Do we need to be raising that anyway? Just to kind of keep up with the current market. We can't do it now.
Yeah.
But just to talk.
Again, I think what we'd do is look at what the federal average was in the month we were talking. That would kind of
Yeah.
give us an idea.
Yeah, okay. 498 is the highest I've seen road fee. So our applicant is here, is that right? I thought Tim said he was.
Yeah, he's out there.
It's Adam? Yeah, could you, please grab him, get him in here. No, sorry. Okay, hi, welcome. If you'd like, Mr. Lentz, is that right? Yeah. Come on up here and you can just have a seat. That way you'll be surrounded. Okay, well, I would make a motion to go into executive session for the purposes of conducting an interview with 3 commissioners, county councilor, county clerk, 2 road and bridge foremen, and the applicant. 10 minutes. Is there a second?
I'll stop you.
Okay, so moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, motion carried.
5 minutes? The question that you have about that, Dr. Young, or maybe. We're at that.
We're out of executive session, back into regular with no binding action taken. That's just housekeeping. But go ahead.
No, I was just saying, any of those type of questions, obviously, they could talk to you about that, but Nikki would be a good person up in the county clerk's office to answer any of your questions and what that health insurance looks like since you do have a family.
Yeah. More than more than do whatever you guys ask me to do. I'm not one to fight too far back. There's no reason for it, to be honest. I'm gonna be telling what to do and I'm gonna do it. If I have questions, I'm gonna ask them. And
Okay.
obviously making sure that we're doing it safely and, I mean, obviously if I'm not doing something properly the way it's supposed to be, I'd imagine y'all would correct me and say, hey, you know, this isn't tolerated. Yeah. It's very easy to do it. We're not yet.
Okay, well, if you have any more questions, we got, I guess, another item on the agenda here. Speak to those guys, speak to Nikki, and I guess we'll be in discussion about this and be back in touch.
All right, that sounds good.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it, guys.
Yep, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for coming in. Appreciate it.
Right.
I will tell you, in the 90 seconds we have, I have completed the research of the notice of intent to sell the abandoned road, ASA 8-1101.
Okay.
I've also drafted the one-page draft notice necessary for this to be published. I have emailed it to Sheriff Merchant and to Nikki and copied Richard on it, to Commissioner Richard on it as well.
All right,
In that notice, it's published once, twice, in 2 consecutive weeks. After the initial notification period has expired, I'm confident Sheriff Merchant's already done that by registered mail to the other owners. In that regard, once that's done, we have a period of time under that statute. We publish this twice, and then 10 days after that, we can sell them at public auction. Then they get a bill of sale that this with public auction was complied. They take that over to the Division of Motor Vehicles. They use it, they title it, and any proceeds that we get out of the sale goes into our county highway.
okay,
Should take less than 40 days from today.
40 days, all right,
Awesome.
thank you.
Thank you.
I'm just taking notes here. I don't want to forget that. Okay. Next up at 2 o'clock, which we got 15 seconds. Have another executive session. Eddie, in the back there, we have a 2 o'clock here. It's going to take, how long do you think? 20 minutes, 15 or 20. I can go last. No, it's fine. You're here. You're here. Can you wait 20 minutes or so? Okay. Because we're going to have to bounce you out of the room. Now. And Jerry, who do you want in here? Who do you want in here? Us? Okay, do you want?
I don't mind. I'll just go to that.
Okay, all right. Well, it's 2 o'clock. We'll go ahead and call for an executive session with Road and Bridge Foreman Jerry Heisel for the purpose of just duties. Non-elected personnel duties, let's call it that, with the 3 commissioners and the county clerk president for 15 minutes. That's in the form of a
Yep.
motion. Is there a second?
I will second that motion.
Okay. Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carried. All right. out of executive session back into regular session with no binding action taken. However, I will ask for another executive session with the same people for the same reason for 5 more minutes. Is there a second?
Little second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carried. 5 more minutes. That puts us at 2:22.
check with her and you can get her.
All right, we're out of executive session, back into regular with no binding action taken. All right, thank you very much.
Hey, Jerry. Smile.
So Jerry, that culvert you're talking about. I took some pictures of it the other day when it was raining so much.
Which one?
The one you had that had the dam in front of the one about the Hatton Goldfinch.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, Mike was holding it and went back there in that evening and all the water out of the terrace and all the thing was gone. And on down there, there used to be by 170th, they used to have water running out on the road and the mud. They got that fixed too, so there was no water running out on that.
Yeah.
So I
Thank
think
you.
it's gonna work.
You checking it out? And it's better, I guess?
I think so.
Okay, good. All right, our agenda got a little fuzzy there, but we do have another executive session. This would be under emergency management. What would we call this? An interview type thing? What is this?
It's going for a person on that, but it's not like a person. Not
He's not, yeah, how do we,
potential, engagement.
potential
Yeah,
engagement?
you don't have to, it's like an interview.
Okay, it's like an
This
interview.
is an interview.
Yeah, okay, makes sense. So how much time do you think, Eddie?
However long you want to leave.
What do you think?
I think we ought to start off with 15 minutes.
15 minutes. So I make a motion that we go into executive session with the three commissioners, county council, county clerk, and the interviewee for emergency management. I guess it'd be an interview, 15 minutes. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Been
motion.
moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, motion carried. All right. Thank you. I guess that All right, we're out of executive session, back into regular with no binding action taken. I would, I guess, make a motion for another executive session with the same people for the same reason for 10 more minutes. Is there a second? Second. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, motion carried. 10 minutes puts us at 2:50. Okay, I'm just gonna cut in. We're out of executive session back into regular with no binding action taken. I will continue.
So that's another thing while I'm working on that.
Okay, wonderful. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it.
Okay, so. Do we need to talk more about that KDEM course that you mentioned?
I just think that in our next, workshop, we could. Oh, we're not doing one this week.
Scott
Okay.
Boyd.
Okay, that's right. So I just think we just need to look at the calendar. Obviously, planning season probably isn't the best time for.
It is what it is.
We just need to put it on the calendar. That gentleman thinks it's worthwhile. I tend to believe him.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, all right. Okay, does anyone need to take a break before we do that? We take like a 5-minute recess, would that be all right?
Sure.
Okay. Think I'll just, try to make a motion, let's make a motion, we take a 5-minute recess, is there a second?
Second.
Moving second, all in favor, say aye. Aye, okay, 5 minutes. Okay, we're out of recess, back into regular session here, regular order, so, you got a few things maybe to clean up, and then we'll need another executive session. I was going to ask, since we talked about emergency management, where are we at in that with our current app? Okay. Okay, so contingent upon that being an all clear, do we need to schedule time to bring him back in? All right, so we need to put that on the list too. Can we do that now? Or do we need to do that in concert with, yeah? I'm just looking.
I think, I think it's more than just tasting. We gotta talk a little bit about position too at the same time.
Yeah.
That obviously affects how much we pay it. Does that make sense?
It does, but what'd you say, memorialize? I did.
You like that?
I did. We needed to take an action step on it. How do we want to go about that?
So,
Just over Austin, I've been looking at while we're in.
thank you. Well, that would have to be done in executive session.
Yeah, we could do a 10-minute executive for non-elected person.
All right. Is that our pleasure then? Is that what we want to do?
But that was the form of the question.
Well, if we're waiting on the background information, assuming that passes, then the next step is we need a salary idea and a position description.
Right. So that's what I'm saying is,
So we probably better just do it right now. So I'll make a motion. We go into executive session again with the three commissioners, counselor, the clerk, 10 minutes to discuss non-elected personnel, specifically the solid waste director position. Duties, compensation.
emergency.
I'm sorry. Emergency manager. I looked at the wrong. Emergency management for 10 minutes. There a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Right.
Okay, motion carried, 10 minutes. 3:10. Okay, we're out of executive session, back into regular. There was no binding action taken. Yes, again, I'm through the list, but we need 15 minutes.
Yeah, 15.
Okay, so we'll call for a 15-minute executive session with the three commissioners,
Yep.
the county council,
That's very fun.
attorney-client privilege. Is there a second? It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, motion carried. 15 minutes is 3:26, looks like. All right. We are out of executive session back into regular with no binding action taken. Are we in a position, the resolutions we looked at, are we in a position where we can move on those?
My question on that,
You want some more time?
one of them was, I think I was thinking about the property taxes maybe.
Okay.
Do we need we don't need to, but would it be better if we say, we're looking at this and we're gonna consider passing it in 4 weeks or something and let people come in and talk if they want to?
Over the $5 one?
No, the
Delinquent.
delinquent
Oh,
property
like
taxes.
paying the earliest
Mm.
ones?
I'm not saying we need to change it, but just to give the people that we're not just up here saying, this is what it's gonna be.
So I haven't read the five. But $5, maybe I read.
So,
No, he's actually, you're talking about the one that if you were to pay your taxes,
right,
it's
This
gonna
is-
go to the oldest.
This is the 20 years.
Yeah.
and I'm not saying it, I'm not, I think it's a good deal, but I'm just saying,
Oh, yeah, I read it. Yeah. This is a refund policy. Over payment fee. Yeah, I thought this was fine. And,
So Bill's talking about the one where oldest delinquent taxes are paid for.
So Bill, I would never have a problem with having people come and talk to us. I
Right.
mean, this isn't like whether we sign it today or sign it in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it's gonna change dramatically. If people want to talk to us about that's great. 'Cause they need to understand what we're doing. I mean, they're nothing other than general accounting practices, trying to keep books clear. So if
I mean,
we want to put something out there that we're looking at adopting this and they have an opportunity to come into the meeting and talk to us about it,
or something, I mean,
how would we get that information out?
you could publish a notice of intent to adopt the resolution in the newspaper, but again, I see very limited to no informational gathering that comes off of that. I think right now you have more people watching your commission meeting than you would probably get.
yeah, so,
If that would get the word out, then otherwise I think you probably.
I was just thinking, just if it was in the minutes or something, that was considering that. And,
Yeah.
I mean, not in favor of paying for publishing something that we don't need to,
Get it.
but
We're not hiding anything from anybody. If they want to
Right.
talk to us, I think it's a great idea. They can come talk to us.
Well, and have we been in I guess we've only been in a work session where we discussed this, so nothing probably got online as far as we recorded need. That we were looking, because this is not the first time we discussed this. This is the first time we've seen it.
And to be clear on the $5, I thought we were talking about a new policy that came out in the Revenue County Treasurer's Office. We just dealt with in Lima, where it's gonna take effect in July. But you have the ability to adopt an additional $5 fee for the tags, but no, that $5 refund thing I've read.
This is
That's-
this is what the state's doing. So
Yeah, it's fine.
we're following. what the
It's
state's doing.
totally
So Bill, if we looked at putting this on next Monday's business is a week's time, is that enough?
fine.
No, you just,
um,
I'm sorry, I heard.
when's our next meeting with the public?
You mean the copy with commissioners?
Yeah.
It would be probably June because we were talking about once a quarter.
It's April,
I don't think you wanna wait that long.
okay,
So I would just tell you, I would vote for this today. I think we've talked about it enough as commissioners, and I think we understand the process to the point where we're not pulling any punches here on anybody. It's a problem in the county where delinquent taxes can be paid to the current year, and then whatever that happens, they get off the naughty list, but we still have. I think people understand how this works and take advantage of it. I think it's a loophole. We can close it. I'd go today.
It's more than that though, because what the treasurer will tell you is that if you look at the tax rolls, people may have back taxes 4 or 5 years ago, and then they make a payment and they don't pay the most current, they just pay. Let's say last year's. So when you look at it, that's how you get those payments coming in that don't even coincide with the oldest or the most recent, they're just in the middle, and the idea is to not allow that, to clean up the rolls as we go and pay your oldest debt for. That's what that's all about.
I'm not opposed to it, but I just don't wanna, I don't know. Just being open with the public, this is what we're doing, this is why we need to do it, but
I think the tax sale process, we've really opened and been very open with the public, shed a lot of light on why we got to where we are today, what we're doing to get out of it. And I mean, we've actually pulled a lot of levers engaged a lot of different people to try and get a mess cleaned up. When I first got elected, I didn't really know much about the tax sale. But I sure, that's gotta be the number one issue for me of what I've had the most comments about is why things were so bad.
I think from a perspective, if you look at other counties. Throughout the state of Kansas, they almost uniformly have the policy in place that's in front of them. The other thing that's great is. If you were to take action today and adopt it, a resolution is a statement of intent. And next week, you could go on ahead and adopt a resolution that changes this resolution. So if you were to take action, it's not a permanent. So that's another point of comfort. I've seen that happen where, you have a room full of people that come in and you don't expect it. And then you have the ability to amend that if you take an action this week that you don't see or foresee having an effect on the public, that you can adjust later on.
It's not a big thing,
Are you comfortable with the policy?
yeah, I mean,
Would you vote for the policy?
why wouldn't you pay your taxes first?
Okay, so,
I mean,
do you have any comments on the other two?
So the one was a $5 one, and what was the other one?
20 years?
After 20 years.
After 20 years, it's
Um,
dormant and uncollected.
oh, yeah, that's fine,
Okay, do we
Again,
have,
every one of these, Bill, we're trying to clean things up
right,
and make it easier for these departments. If you were in charge of, if you were in Betty's position and you have all these,
yeah,
I mean, no accounting company would recommend that you.
right. I think they're all good, but I just
Yeah.
make sure that,
so you're an advocate for transparency and you want the public to know about it. We listened to Austin, it sounds like this is, say that again, you explained it so nice. A resolution
This
is,
is a resolution, a statement of current intent, and it's something that we can adjust later on if we need to.
right, you can always repeal it.
Right.
The next commissioners that come in here can change anything that we're.
And even if you have one of those resolutions that we publish in the paper because it's taking an official action of law, right? The next meeting, we can adopt one of those. That changes that, so. this is a
however,
good thing.
this resolution
That's right.
in
As it says,
treasurer's office specifically, does that enable that office to collect the old stuff?
that's right, yes,
So it is, there's some teeth on
there's some teeth, yes,
it. Okay.
It's just not, it is reversible.
that's right.
So do we have the resolution number? No. First one we do is 14. Do they need to be in any specific order? Okay, so if you're comfortable, if you were gonna vote, I mean, I wouldn't mind calling, are you comfortable calling a vote?
Yes.
On these, are you comfortable calling a vote?
I'll go along with it.
Okay. I won't oppose it. All right, I've heard that before. Okay, and you said 14? All right, well, I'm going to make a motion. I'm gonna call the resolution establishing the application of payments on delinquent property taxes in Brown County, Kansas. I'll call that 14. So, does everyone understand this resolution as it is?
Yes.
Would anyone? I guess I'll make a motion that we approve resolution 2026-14.
I'll second the motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any other comment? Not all in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, motion carried on that one.
Sure.
I think, Nikki, that's a great idea because it gets that information out and hopefully the people see it. And realize it, that would be wonderful.
All right. Okay, so can I put in ink up there at the top? 14. Okay, so the next one will be 2026-15. And this is a resolution declaring certain delinquent personal property taxes to be dormant and uncollectible pursuant to Kansas statute 79-2101. Does anyone want to make a motion on this?
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution number 2026-15.
Is there a second? I'll second it. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, motion carried. That one. In front of us, we have resolution 2026-16, which is a resolution setting a refund policy for the overpayment of fees paid to county offices. So is there a motion to accept 2026-16?
I move it, accept resolution 2026-16.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
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 Right.
Okay, motion carried. That resolution passes. Okay, so that's those. And is there any other business to come before the commission while we're here? Okay. All right. Okay, so I'll make a motion to go into executive session for 10 minutes with the three commissioners, our council and our clerk. For 10 minutes for non-elected personnel and pay. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carried. 10 minutes, 3:46.
Yeah, as long as you guys, I don't want it to be just my opinion.
We're out of the executive session back into regular with no binding action taken.
Good job, that was fun.
All right, is there anything else to come before the commission before this meeting? Can be adjourned. We got a lot of things to sign actually, but any other business?
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I saw that might even make it easier.
So yes,
Two people. There for two.
okay, all right, anything else? Did we get everything done that was on the agenda? I mean, I see it, I think so.
I'm not sure, other than, I don't know that I have a written deliverable for next week, but not this next meeting, but the next meeting after that, maybe is the bridge conversation.
Okay.
Right, so in a couple of weeks, the bridge presentation. And I'll coordinate that with the commission and with Nikki to provide all the materials. I think it would be good if they could be at the front end of the agenda, since they're from, some of the people that are presenting are not from a far different time zone. They're foreign, so. Some of them that'll be on the call. It's a foreign technology, so the principles of the company would be,
Okay,
they're gonna come on and call.
an international call.
That'll be an international Zoom meeting, so early in the agenda would be helpful for them.
Okay. All right,
And then other than that, I sent out the notice. Was there anything else in writing, on paperwork that you needed? Email, I don't remember. I don't think so.
I didn't know.
I didn't see that. I didn't see the email side. I think we're caught up with the moment, so
all right,
we'll go from there.
okay, sounds good.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
All right, well, I guess if there's no other business, I'd make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Case been moved and seconded, all in favor, say aye. 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 Hey, the meeting's adjourned at 3:49.